What are you doing here? How did you get in?
Jeez, I was just trying to get your lights back on, okay?
Hey, don't touch me!
I really don't want to talk about this anymore.
Well, we have to talk about it. You have been avoiding the subject ever since you told me that you fired Steffy.
That's because I don't trust her and there's nothing more to say. I don't want to work with her.
All right, listen. I understand where you're coming from. But you are the CEO of this company, and from a business perspective, it's a bad move. Katie, you don't realize how damaging this could be. We've got the momentum. The Glamour collection is the talk of the industry. Steffy is the talk of the industry because it's her concept. Now, if you fire her, every tabloid in the country is going to be camped out in the parking lot.
Fine. Let them. Someone once told me that there's no such thing as bad press.
Well, you see, there is an exception to every rule, even mine. Now, on top of that situation, how are you going to deal with Ridge, Miss CEO, when he finds out? And he will.
Promoting Steffy was a coup. Spencer at his best, the master of manipulation.
So you don't think she's doing a great job?
She's gifted. I love working with my daughter, designing this collection.
But
something's missing.
The designs are lovely. They're just not inspired. This was not Ridge at his best.
So, the catwalk challenge, Jackie M's Adam and Eve line versus the Hollywood Glamour collection. Are you telling us that we're in trouble?
Katie, when you're running a company, you can't let personal matters get in the way of good business sense.
What you're asking is impossible. This is a creative, collaborative environment. Our relationships, by definition, have to be personal, or we can't function as a creative team.
And having said that, you're not acting like a CEO. You're acting like a jealous wife.
Well, that's awfully condescending.
It's awfully accurate.
Great.
Steffi's going on Donna's TV show tomorrow to promote our new collection, and you're saying that there's something wrong with it?
The collection is decent, but it could be so much better. It doesn't really have Dad's signature touch.
So give it your signature touch.
Look, the fashion press is all over this. I would have never agreed if I didn't think we would win.
Maybe we will.
Maybe.
Honey Bear, come on, spice it up a little bit.
Look, Steffi's concept was solid, and the line isn't bad. It's just I've had my hands full with other matters.
What other matters?
Dad and I have some exciting news.
Get out! Whip, please, just leave me alone!
Hey, I startled you. I'm sorry. Look, I knew you were meeting with Bridget earlier. I was wondering how it went.
It went fine, okay? We went to yoga. You don't have to check up on me.
I think I do. You know you left your door unlocked.
What? No, I would never leave.
Yeah, how did you think I got in?
I wouldn't leave my door unlocked, ever.
Well, look, it's an accident, you know? Listen, you probably just ran out of here quick when you were with Bridget. I came, I pounded on the door, nobody answered, and then the lights were out. I was in the back, playing around with the circuit breaker box when you came home.
Okay, fine. You were trying to do something nice. Thank you. Would you please just go now? Please.
Okay, all right. I'll go. I wish you wouldn't shut me out. Look, I'm going to fix your lights anyway, okay? It's very, very dark back there.
Sandy?
Nick!
Hi.
Hi.
I was about to take off, but I noticed that your lights hadn't come on. What are you doing here in the dark? Ah, okay. Must have been maybe a little circuit breaker or some type. What? Hey, Nick.
He was just leaving.
Yeah, right.
What was he doing here?
Whip was here to fix the lights.
So he was already here when I dropped you off.
Right.
What's the deal here? Because you told us that you two barely knew each other. Sandy, I need some answers.
We're cousins.
Cousins? You and Whip?
I had no idea that he worked for your company. I hadn't seen him in a long time, and I didn't even find out until after the procedure.
Well, why wouldn't you tell us?
I should have.
Yeah. Yeah, you should have, but you didn't. Which means that's just one more secret, isn't it? One more lie, one on top of the other. I'm not leaving here until you tell me everything.
About Whip?
No. About you.
Well, you might as well come in. We were just talking about you.
Hi, Steffy.
Hi. You can look at him, Steffi. He was just pleading your case. I'll be out of the building by the end of the day. I have a question. If Bill hadn't told me what you did, what was your next move?
Exciting news? Well, let's hear it.
I had no idea that you'd been working on something.
You both know how strongly we feel about losing the company to Spencer.
Is that why you think your designs are less than perfect?
They are less than perfect. As much as I love working with Steffi, when I'm sitting alone trying to work at my drafting board, I've got one thought that's infusing into my mind constantly. Unless I'm just doing this to make money for Bill Spencer. It makes me crazy.
Rich is an artist. He's a designer, and as a designer, I can tell you it's impossible to feel inspired when your loyalties are so divided. So I decided to do something about it. The same thing you tried to do not too long ago, but this time it's going to be different. We have a lot of friends out there, and Spencer has a lot of enemies. So I've been pulling together some money. People are rallying behind us. 10% more than what he paid for this company. I'm this close to making a buyback offer.
Eric, why do you think Bill's gonna sell this time when he fought so hard to buy Forrester Creations?
Spencer's genius is in publications and media, not fashion.
He needs to realize he's way out of his league. Both he and Katie.
How would you feel about Katie being replaced as CEO?
You think I'd keep going after your husband after he rejected me? I do have some self-respect. It's your self-restraint that I haven't seen much evidence of. Are you really that threatened by me? No. No, of course not. There's no reason to be. So why fire me? Punishment? Retribution? What? Your position calls for you to work closely with me. You don't see your actions as an obstacle to that? How do you think my dad's gonna react when he finds out I've been fired? You know how he'll react. He'll never see this as my fault. So you think we shouldn't rock the boat. So what are you gonna do? Fine, you can stay. Wait, are you serious? I want us all to work together, Steffi. I think we all want the same thing. We want this company to be great. We're on our way. Don't mess it up. Okay, I can't believe you're actually giving me a second chance. Thank you. Go unpack your office. I want a full report on the Hollywood Glamour campaign in the morning.
proud of you.
I think that was a big mistake. And I'm not just being a jealous wife.
Katie's just worked so hard.
She has, and she's done better as CEO than I would have expected.
She's painfully lacking in experience.
I know how much she loves the job. But still.
This company is Forrester Creations. The Forrester family should own and run it.
I agree. We will handle Katie. I certainly hope you can make this work, Eric. 'Cause I know how much it would mean to Rich.
I'm not the big bad wolf here. I'm asking to be filled in, but it's got to be the truth.
I've already told you a lot.
But it's not enough. Have you even thought that this thing that you're holding on to inside of you, what it could be doing to the baby? Because it can't be good.
Well, that's why I like to not think about it, Nick.
Sandy, it's like the elephant in the room. You try not to see it, but there it is. You can't help it. Now, is that what you want? Do you want to harm this baby before it's even born? Because that's what all of this stress is doing. Will you look at me? I won't hurt you. I'm just asking you to tell me what happened.
I used to work at this bar a long time ago. My cousin Whip, he hung out there with these fashion types, and I really liked it. It was a really cool place, you know, and at the time I thought maybe I could get a job in fashion. And so at the bar, I met this photographer. Whip introduced me to him. He seemed like a nice guy. He offered to take some headshots for my resume at his studio in his apartment. So I went there with him. And we shot some pictures. And then people started showing up for this party, and he invited me to stay. It's all a blur now, but there was this attractive guy, and he kept flirting with me, you know, so we were talking and laughing, and then people started doing shots of tequila, I think. And someone offered me one, and I remember just hearing all of these people around me, you know, their voices saying, do it, go for it, live a little. So I did. Just one shot. And that's the last thing that I remember. I'm sorry. I woke up the next day in some strange apartment. Totally violated. So that's it. That's the day that everything changed for me. I went to the hospital, and the police were brought in, and they asked me all their questions. Humiliating. DNA evidence, and
Did anything come of that?
no. That was a mess. I just wanted to forget about it. I've been trying to forget ever since. The elephant in the room, you know. I've never told anyone that before. Whip doesn't even know. I'd die if Bridget found out. Nick, you know I've had all kinds of tests. AIDS, STDs, you name it. I'm clean. I'm gonna give you and Bridget a healthy child.
I'm sure you will.
But I don't want you to worry about that. Or anything. Or Bridget. And I know that she will. If she hears about this. Even though there's nothing wrong with me physically. I hate to ask you to keep this secret from her. I don't have any right. She's your wife, but she's the best thing that's happened to me since that night, Nick. We're friends, and I promise you, I swear, I'll tell her. I don't know when. Not now. You know, it's just that I'm carrying her child inside of me, and that is such a sacred bond. I don't want anything to interfere with that, to taint what we have.
I won't tell her.
Thank you. I really appreciate that so much. You should probably get going home.
You gonna be okay?
Yeah, I think I am. I feel like this huge weight has just been lifted off my shoulders. For the first time. I think I'm actually glad that I told you.
I am too. Thank you.
Reinstating Steffy was not a mistake.
Time will tell.
You don't agree.
I will keep an eye on her.
Why would you have to? Katie, you're not worried about Steffy and me. You're questioning your trust in me. You're feeling like you have to protect your turf just a few weeks into our marriage. That is not what I want for you. I have made a few mistakes in my life, and I'm sure I'll make a few more. Betraying your trust will not be one of them. I need you, Mrs. Spencer, for one thing. And it's one thing that I have never shared with any other woman. A connection. We are one. And I am in love with you. I have never said those words. This is not something that happens to dollar bill. You have thawed the cold walls that surround my heart. And you've done that with your warmth and your goodness. And that's why I love you. And that's why I will never stop loving you.